Hi everyone, Kira here, doing a DIY ephemera video. I didn't feel like I had enough ephemera to kind of last me through the rest of Christmas, so I just decided to whip some up last night. The whole process here took me about an hour to do, and I tried to film or show as much as possible, but I edited out a lot of the boring, tedious stuff. So here I'm just kind of showing you my supplies. I used a lot of punches, a lot of stamps, got some scrap pieces of paper there, my ink pads, embossing pad, my embossing powder, and I have those circles that I showed you. Those were just cut from my Cricut. I don't have a 1.5 inch and a 2-inch circle punch. So if you're looking for something to get me for Christmas, those are on my wish list. So those are just cut from my Cricut. But anyways, so the first thing that I did was I cut some Christmas trees from my tree punch, and then I'm just using the stamp that I have that's like a string of Christmas lights and just stamping those directly on the trees. I'll do a little bit with one of those a little bit later, but for now I just set them aside because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with them. And I wasn't really sure if I really even liked the look of that, so that's why they're just kind of set aside. These square punches that I'm punching out, these are going to be made into presents, and all I did was I used some washi tape to kind of serve as the ribbon, and then I used my bow punch to serve as the bow. So the first one I did this like plaid washi, black and white plaid washi with a black bow, and then the ones that I really liked how they turned out are these second ones, which I used a red foil washi, and then I used the bow punch to punch out some green foil paper. So I think they turned out really cute. And you'll see my trusty clothespins come into play here as well, because I put some glue on to hold the bows on, and then just put the clothespin so it'll hold it on there so the glue can dry. So here's the ones I ended up really liking how they turned out. So there's just the red foil washi and then the green foil bow. And there's that. I ended up making 4 of those, but I didn't show the whole process of that. So here I am back with the trees, and all I'm doing with this tree is I'm filling in the lights with my embossing pen, and then I'm going over those with my gold embossing powder. And you'll see close-ups of everything at the end. My camera has a really hard time focusing like when I hold stuff up to it, so it's just easier to take pictures at the end to show you. So if you don't want to see the whole process and you just want to see the end result, you can go ahead and just fast forward through all of this and look at the pictures at the end. I hole punched another tree here, and I'm using my embossing pen and kind of doing little kind of squiggly lines around it. I was trying to make it kind of look like snow, that's why I'm embossing it in white. It probably would have looked even cuter if I did it, hole punched it in green paper and then actually did make it look like snow and not just squiggly lines, and then embossed it in white. But I'm happy with how it turned out because I think white embossing powder on white paper looks amazing. So here I am I'm using one of those bear stamps, and I just stamped it with embossing ink, and then I white embossed this one as well. You can't really see very good detail there, but at the end you can see a little bit more detail, and it looks really, really cute. So I was really happy with how it came out. The next thing I'm doing here is I'm making some of my DIY frames. So I did 4 frames total. They're all different sizes, and then I did the first one I did in this green foil paper, and then I did a couple in the glitter paper. So I did the first one. I left a very thin border around this one just because I wanted them to be kind of different sizes and everything. So I did really thin border this one, and then I just used that the square that I cut out in the middle. I just used that for my next frame. So here I am just flipping it back over, and then I'm going to make this frame a little bit wider than the last one. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos where I make these frames, all I do is I flip the paper over so it's the back side that you're seeing. I score it along the edges where I want, or how big I want the frame to be, basically. I usually go about a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. It just depends on the look that I'm going for. So I score along there, and then I take the pen and I mark the corners where I need to stop my cutting. So then I just cut along the same line that I just scored, and then it just cuts out the center piece there. And then you have a little frame. So I did the same thing with the last one here to make two frames. Sorry if you hear my son in the background. He's busy watching a video. So anyways, so I did the same process as with the first one. I cut out the rectangle in the middle, and then I just used that one to do another frame. So they're different sizes. And then I did this one a little bit thinner than I did the first one. And I'll have close-ups of those at the end too if you want to see them close up. So here I'm just doing a couple little layering pieces, and all I did was I cut a rectangular piece of scrap paper. I cut off the corners of it to give it that shape, and then I'm just layering it on a piece of red cardstock and then just cutting along the edges of it to make it just like a little label, tag, whatever you want to call it. So I made a few more of these. I don't show the process of all the ones that I make, but I did make a few more with different colors, backgrounds. And then here I'm just making a few little tickets. I watched a video on YouTube from Ashley Laura where she did the same thing. I'll link that below if you want to see her process. But basically, you just cut out a rectangular shape. You use your circular hole punch, just like your regular hole punch, and then hole punch the corners. In her video, she did like typewriter print on it. I just leave mine plain, or I put like alphas on it to do phrases. There's, a lot of different ways that you can use them, but they're really nice for layering pieces. Here I'm just doing some stamping on some circles. The one that you saw before the circle was I had punched out some embossing from a star print. Here I did this one and I did not like how it came out on the circle, so I actually just took that and just hole punched some stars from the embossing, and I really like how it looked on the stars. These are just going to be little border stamps that I stamp on some paper, and again, these can just be used as like layering pieces. So I just did that one gold embossed with the little houses and trees. This one I stamped in black, but then I went back with my embossing pen and embossed over all of the music notes and then embossed those in gold. I did this in a layout previously where I just did like one music note per line, and I actually like the way that that looked better than how I did this here, but it is what it is, and it's not like it's horrible looking, it's just not the look I wanted necessarily. So then I just decided that I wanted some star ephemera, so I'm just taking my scrap paper, and I have 2 star punches in different sizes, and I'm just punching some stars out with that paper. I also did some plain red and some plain green paper as well, so those will just go in my little DIY ephemera pack. Here I am doing some little banner tags. So you didn't see me cut out the rectangular pieces, but I just cut those out. They're about 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and then I'm just making them into little banner shapes. Then I decided that I wanted these banner shapes to have some words on them, so I did ho 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 in red and green on just some white banner shapes there. So those are done. Here I decided to make some more little like ticket shapes, but I did these ones stamped. So I did shine and believe on those. And then this is going really fast, isn't it? So this one here is just one of the circles that I have punched out, and then I'm just using some ink to color kind of one half of it. It's not exactly half of the circle, but it's just kind of like a little part of it. And then I'm going to do is take this stamp that says Jolly and just stamp that down the center of the circle like that. And that actually turned out a lot cuter than I expected it to, so I really liked how that one came out. That one's done. I also did another one where I did the word joy, which you'll see at the end. Here I'm making a couple little tags. I did two like this. So this one I just did black and white, and then I did another one that is, I believe, plaid and red, or plaid and green. I don't know. You'll see it at the end pictures. And then I just punched a little Christmas tree out of white and then just put that down at the bottom of the tag with some glue. And then I did a few more tags that I didn't show during the process, but you'll be able to see those at the end where I have the pictures. And this is how my craft space looks like 99% of the time. I don't know how you guys craft, but I am not a neat crafter. So it's like literally just junk everywhere. So I wanted to show you guys all of the pieces of ephemera that I had made. So I kind of started pushing stuff aside so I could lay out all of these pieces so you could see them. So I got tickets, or the banner pieces, the tickets, the circles, some tags. Here's some more banner pieces. I've got those little border shapes cut out. A few more of those layering pieces, my DIY frames, tickets, and it turned out to be about as much as you would get in a ephemera pack that you would buy at the store, but for a fraction of the cost. And like I said, it only took me about an hour to do all of this, and I'm really pleased with the result. So you'll see that some of the things that you didn't see on camera is I fussy cut one of those little cars out. I had stamped a little red plaid bear. I did a ticket that's up plaid with some with a Christmas tree on it. That little tag has like 3 Christmas trees down it, and some little to and from tags I did as well, and everything else I believe you saw me do the process of. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you liked this video and if you liked the process, and I can continue to do them for all holidays or seasons or whatever. Just let me know, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great Christmas. I probably won't be back until after Christmas, so have a great Christmas, and I will see you and talk to you later. Bye.